Hello, Rick. How are you doing? I'll let the dog out. Be right back. Right. Back. Hello, Drogon. Good to see you. Just waiting for Rubialski, I believe. I mean, I'll be rating the liveries and quali, Hugo, so it's up to you. Send Rubialski another one. We'll go as soon as Rubialski gets in. going to set qualifying to dry and then race to dynamic, just so that we can see the liveries. Alright, let's go. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the last race of 2025 for APPF1. It is, of course, the annual Christmas jumper race, which is always a fantastic time for the league. It's a celebration of the league more than anything, and I'm a huge fan of it. And it's great to be here to celebrate another great year of the league. I mean, so many things have happened this year for APPF1. We started a new division, Tier 3, which has been very successful. We've had many new champions. We've started a new game. We've rewritten a bunch of rules. We've done a whole host of stat stuff. I'm looking forward to showing you all the redesigned stat cards in the next week or two, because that'll be great fun to post those, and I hope you all enjoy them. But it's fantastic to be here. We're in Brazil this year for the Christmas jumper race. I don't think we've been to Brazil before for this race, but there's no better time than the present. It's a fantastic track, and I'm sure we're going to get a good race. But, of course, what we're really looking for is the liveries, because it is the Christmas jumper race is as much a livery competition as it is a race. And I do like this part of the tradition. I'm usually racing in these. I've made my own livery usually, but today, obviously, I am here commentating. So I will get to choose who has the best liveries. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rate everyone's livery out of 10, and then pick the top 3 of the ones that I've rated. If it turns out that we've got a tie, then I'll look again at the ones that are tied and decide from there. But anyway, we'll start off with You Home Hug, otherwise known as Hugo. That's some green and red, a classic combo, which I'm sure we'll see plenty of, with a bit of gold on there as well. I do think the gold is a little bit dull in terms of the colour. It's a bit too orange and not enough like bright gold colour. But I do like the combo. I think that's pretty neat. I'm going to give that a 7. I like the sponsors on it as well. I'll give it a 7. Some good effort onto that one from Hugo. Let's pass over to JB, who's going to be next up. Again, going for the red and green with a lot more gold this time. Going for more of a wrapping paper approach, I think, is JB. See if we can get a better view of it as he goes through the first few corners. Yeah, it's nice. I just think the gold clashes a bit too much with the green. I think we're going to see that a lot today. There's going to be a lot of gold clashing with green, and I think it detracts from the overall livery. It's another great effort, though. I really like the effort. I'm going to give that. I'm going to give that also a 7 because I think he's done a better shade of gold, but I think Hugo's sort of livery as a whole is better. But I think because JB's gone for a better shade of gold, I'm going to give him a 7. Who's next? We're not paying too much attention to the times at this point. Griffin also going with a gold, red, and green approach. Again, I think the gold just clashes with the green, and it's a bit too yellowy, that shade of gold, and not enough gold. If that makes any sense to you at all in chat. I think again it's a good effort. I always like that people have put sponsors on their liveries. 108.9 the initial time to beat. Griffin 4/10 away. I'm going to give Griffin. I just think that gold and on top of the green is a not an inspired choice. But I do like the livery as a whole. I'm going to give it a 6 for Griffin there. Maybe 6.5. Let's be generous. Who is next? It's a green one next. That's Runes. Tier 3 runner-up this season, and now look at this. Wow, a lot more green. I think it's the same livery design as JB's in terms of the actual the decal, or sort of the patterns, as it were, on the car. But that's a very striking gold on the side. Almost looks like a lightning bolt, doesn't it? I do like how the red, he's made the red matte, I think, on the sides, and I like the red wheel covers as well. I think that adds quite a bit. I'm going to go for... Ooh. It's a tough one, that. Again, I just think it's the gold with the green. I can't get past it. So I'm going to give a 7 again for that one from Runes. Let's see, who's next? Koru coming through. Now, look at this. So Koru's avoided the gold on green error. Ench, by the way, has gone fastest, 1:1:85, swiftly beaten by Reshka, Tier 2 champion and elite mainstayer at the top of the standings at the moment. But Koru's gone for a silver instead, and that's an inspired choice. Daka blowing everyone out the water there. Tier 1, 3rd place this season. I really like the silver instead of the gold. I think it's a great choice. Because I think the gold on the green, as I've said many times already, doesn't work quite as well. I'm going to give that an 8.5, honestly, from Koru. That's quite nice. Koru 8.5. Right, who's next? Daka, current pole sitter. Let's go into Reshka first, actually. So Reshka coming through the last corner now, and again going with the silver instead of the gold is a great choice. Let's see, I think that's Roscoe on the side of the car there. Yeah, it's quite nice, isn't it? It looks, again, quite wrapping papery. I like the helmet as well. The helmet edition is nice. We'll get another look at Reshka's later, I think. Daka's coming in the pits as well. Let's have a look at Kevin O'Reilly's. So again, not going with the gold. I think it's a good choice. Silver instead is a great choice. And actually, you know what? This is really nice. I love the combo. I like the sponsors. The sponsors look nice on it. The Concordia on the back. Oh, you know what, Kevin? I think you've knocked that out of the park, mate. I'm giving that a 9. That's a really nice livery from Kevin O'Reilly. So Kevin, the current leader. Tia coming through. We haven't ranked him yet. Why has he gone for purple? I think it might be part of the original livery. I'm not sure, but the purple is certainly a choice. I haven't seen anyone else go for purple. There might be a reason for that. Tia coming through the final corner. I mean, Tia, I like that you've gone for something different, but there's no sponsors on it. I don't think it's worked, mate. I don't. I'm sorry, Tia. I don't think that one's worked for you, mate. That's gonna be a 3.5 for Tia. I think he's the type of guy who'll probably agree. Let's have a look at Josh. He's coming through the center S's at the moment. Now he's gone for something very different. No red at all. Instead, he's gone for black on green and gold. Now, I know I said a lot about green and gold not going together before, but Josh has done this incredibly tastefully with the sort of the darker gradient on the green at the back. And the gold actually looks gold. He's done a fantastic shade of gold there. It's perfect. I mean, Josh, mate, you've done yourself proud with that one. The only reason I'm not going to give it higher than a 9 is because I just think it's a bit less Christmassy because of the absence of red. But I know that he's not chosen red because because he wants to commit to this green. I think if he'd gone red instead of green, that's a 10. But I think the choice of green is a small error on his part. I think that should be red, and then it would be a 10. Honestly, I'm gonna give it a 9. I think it's very good, but I think if he'd chosen red, he's missed out on a guaranteed first place. Enchilada, Tier 2 champion coming through. So he's gone mostly white, with obviously some green and red. No gold to be seen. The green, sort of white to green gradient in the back of the engine cover. I quite like that. That's not bad at all. Sort of a red sort of net shape on the sides as well. Again, he's gone kind of not actually. No, it's not really wrapping papery, is it? It's more sort of snow white with some green and red. Good evening, Lawrence. How are you in the chat? I think I mean it's certainly better than Tears. I'm gonna give it a. There's not a lot of sponsors on it either. I'm gonna give it a 6.5. I'll give it the same as Griffin. Where is Ench? There he is on my little text document here. I'll have another look at some others as well before we stop. Rubialski, let's have a look at what he's done. Oh, he's gone for a sort of similar to Tier, really, hasn't he? The purple. But it's a different shade of purple. It's more of a sort of, I don't know how to describe that colour. It's like an emperor purple, but there's a bit of red, a bit more red in it than you'd expect. Okay. Well, I think it's got to be the same as Tier, just for consistency. So Rubialski gets a 3.5. Can I see Griffins? Yes, you can. Here is Griffins. Here he comes. There we go. I just think the gold at the back on the green doesn't work. So that's why I've scored him so low. But it's a decent effort. It's a decent effort. Have we marked Kevin yet? No, we haven't. So let's have a look at Kevin. Okay, again with the purple on the side. I'm not sure about that. I agree with Lawrence. Purple is not a Christmas colour. Nor is it a holiday season colour. I think Dakar's going to win the race. So we've established this. But it's all about the livery competition as Kevin comes through. I've got 6 more minutes to rank these liveries. Yeah, I agree. The purple marks it down. I like the stars though on the side. I do like them. I just think if he'd chosen a different sponsor on the side, it would have been a lot better. I'm gonna give him a. I think the rest of the livery is decent. It's just the purple marks him down. It's either 6 or 6.5, so I'll be generous and give him 6.5. There we go. Right, who have we got left? Triku, Jacko. Did I mark Rubialski already? I did. He's just gone to P2, by the way. Let's have a look at Dakars again. Here he comes, around the final corner. So, again, it's the gold on green problem. And again, it's just not a shiny gold. If you, again, guys, if you want to know how to do a shiny gold color on your car, just look at Josh's car. That's how to do it. That is how it's done. Dakar, I'm going to give. I just think the colors are a bit poorly chosen, to be honest. He's going to hate me. He's going to think I'm being harsh, but I'm going to give him. I'm going to keep the tradition of giving people I think deserve a 6.5. I think Griffin does deserve 6.5, but yeah, it's 6.5. It is a bit of a mess. 6.5. Rubialski, Kevin O'Reilly asking what his score was. Kevin, you are the current joint leader. I gave you a 9 out of 10. Jacko, we haven't seen Jacko's yet. Let's hope he's not heading in the pits. He's heading in the pits. Oh, it's just kind of okay. Green and red with a white stripe down the side. Not too many sponsors. It's not a mess. Don't get me wrong. It's not a mess. It's not, you know, the colours don't clash. I think he's chosen the colours well. It just looks more Italian than Christmas. Yeah, like Rick said. Same wavelength, me and Rick. Yeah, and I do agree the colours should have been swapped around. For a bit more Christmassy. Yeah, I think it's a 7, just because he's chosen the colours quite nicely, but no more than that. Let's have another look at Hugo's while he's here. So he's another one I'm still not entirely sure of the score of. Let's see. Who am I joint top with? Josh, Kevin. You and Josh currently have a 9 out of 10. It's the gold. It's the gold for me that brings it down. It's just not a good shade of gold for Hugo. I don't know if he's listening. It's just not a good shade of gold. What did I rank him? 7. I think he deserves a bit more than that. He's put some sponsors in that work as well. Yeah, he deserves a bit more than 7. I'll give him 7.5 for sure. Rubialski forgot it was Christmas livery. Oh no, that's why. Well, I gave you a 3.5, mate. So, so no, you don't have to go in the wall. You can still race, mate. Don't worry about it. It just means you won't win the livery competition. That's all. All right, we've got just Triku and Polski and Reshka. So let's have a look at Triku. He's on an outlap right now. Here he comes. Oh, okay. So, Triku, some tips. I think if you'd swapped the red and green, it would have been a lot better. I like your shade of red, but your green is way too bright. Way too bright. But I like that you haven't included like a sort of pukey shade of gold, like some others. That doesn't detract from it. But and there's not any sponsors on it either to enhance it. So I'm going to give him a 5 for that one. 5.5. Let's be generous, it's Christmas. Dark green required, yeah, I agree, Lawrence. Let's see, is Reshka on an outlap? He is. Let's have another look at Reshka's. It's just Reshka and Polski that we haven't marked yet. Actually, let's look at Polski first, since he's actually on a lap. He's further on. Oh, you know, there's not a lot to it, but it's tasteful. You get me? It's tasteful. It's just the red and white, and I think that's tasteful. I think some of the sponsors should have been in a different colour. That AVAX sponsor on the rear wing should have been white, in my opinion. But it's tasteful. I don't mind it. It's simple but effective. I agree, Lawrence. Yeah, I agree with you. It's got to be an 8 for me, I think. It's simple but effective. So just Reshka to go. He's just starting a lap right now. Fight for pole is still on as well. So he's got the Roscoe sponsor on the side. I'm not sure if the British flag is entirely, you know, I'd associate the Union Jack with Christmas. I wouldn't say that, but I think it's just because it's red and white. I like what he's done with it. I like the effort. I like the silver. It's more of a chrome actually than a silver, really, isn't it? I do like it. It's different, isn't it? It's different. Wish I could get a better look at it from the side. Yeah, there we go. It's different. It looks kind of like it's very wrapping paperish, isn't it? Oh, it's tricky. I'm going to give it an 8, and I'm going to have another look at Koru's, because I gave Koru an 8.5. Yeah, no, it's really nice. It's really nice. Like, I don't care if he's randomized it. Hugo's brought up the conspiracy theory that Koru's just randomized his livery. He may well have done, but it's really nice if he has, and if he hasn't, it's really well executed. You know what? No, I'm even upping the score. That's a 9 for me. I really like that. If you've genuinely put your effort into that, Koru, then fair play. If you've randomized delivery, then and guarantee because I got the exact same one. He's chosen it well. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about giving a randomized livery a good mark. I don't know. You know what? If he's randomized it, I think I'm going to give the randomized livery a 9.5, but I can't let him win. Like I have to disqualify him because he hasn't made it himself. So because if he'd made changes to it and made it his own, then yeah. But you know, yeah, it's a 1 out of 10 for effort, but it's a 9.5, the actual livery, but I can't let him win. But in terms of qualifying, Dakar has taken pole position for the 2025 Christmas jumper race, followed by Hugo on the front row. Then it's Reshka, Kevin O'Reilly, Tier 2 champion Ench, Rubialski, Jacko, Griffin, Koru and Josh, the top 10. Then Runes, Kevin, Polsky, Triku, Tier and Joe B, the top 16 drivers. And the winners of the livery contest... as it stands, I may change my mind during the race, who knows? But as it stands, the top 2 are Kevin O'Reilly and Josh with 9 each. Josh for actually knowing what gold looks like and and choosing it very well and making gold on green actually work, unlike most others. And Kevin O'Reilly because it was great. It was really nice. That leaves Polsky and Reshka both on 8. So I'm gonna have to have another look at both of theirs. It's not the effort that counts; it's the final result. But it's not a final result that's his effort at all. That's the thing. And yes, very good, Lawrence. So it's Kevin and Josh guaranteed top 3 spots, and then I'll have to decide whether Griffin and Reshka, or not Griffin and Reshka, Polsky and Reshka both get 3rd place. Or if one of them, if I look at them again and I decide one of them is clearly better than the other. But anyway, the last race of 2025 is 5 lights away. And we're underway for the 2025 Christmas Jumper Race. It's a good start from Dakar from pole, but Hugo gets an even better start. Draws alongside on the inside and gets ahead. Dakar's still on the inside for turn 2, but it's the inside for turn 3 for Hugo, and he takes the lead of the Christmas Jumper Race early on. Let's have a look at position changes. Kevin up 3, back to being up 2 as Dakar now tries to go around the outside of Hugo into turn 4, and it's run out of room there. Hugo maintains the lead. Very good defending from him, and Dakar going to have to settle for second. Everyone heading through. Look at all those Christmas cars heading up the hill towards turn 5. That's great stuff. And let's see. Tyres, everyone's starting on the mediums, so no need to look at that. Rubialski making up a position as well on Enchilada. Rune's already down to last place as Jack Alaco sends it to the inside of the Tier 2 champion. Enchilada is going to have the inside for the next couple of corners. Jacko soars around the outside and gets his way ahead into P6. As Hugo and Dakar lead the way. Reshka staying with them. Kevin O'Reilly struggling a little, but just about in range still, as everyone is still in this DRS train as Griffin and Josh go side by side down towards turn 1. Brilliant stuff as Josh maintains his position for now. Griffin has to stay down in P9. Dakar, though, right behind Hugo, and Reshka's trying to get involved as well to make it 3 wide on the run to turn 4. Hugo backs well out of that one, and Dakar retakes the lead of this race that he started from pole position. Reshka has got to try and stay with him now, because Dakar had pole by quite a margin and could threaten to build a gap. Who's that going off? That was Rubialski sliding off in the background. That was quite funny. This funny sight. Just saw him spear off in the background. That was great. But Reshka struggling here to stay with Dakar, as we may have predicted. Hugo actually struggling for race pace at this early stage as well, despite taking the lead early on. 9/10 now is the gap. He's got to be careful not to fall out of DRS. He doesn't, but very close between them. Let's get a look at Reshka's livery again. It's very wrapping papery, isn't it? I like the silver. I like that it's different as he goes for a move now for the race lead. And Reshka takes over the race lead of the Christmas Jumper Race. He goes down the inside of turn 1 and gets ahead of Dakar, the pole sitter. And a lovely helmet as well. That I've got to take helmets into account when it's this close. When we've got a tie like this. So it's a really nice helmet on Reshka as well. So we've got to take that into account. As we'll have another look at, who was it? It was Polsky, wasn't it? Who was also had an 8. Yeah, the red and white is simple but effective, isn't it? But I think just for the pure, they're both kind of unique on this grid. But Polsky's got the Max Verstappen helmet. So I think, I know it fits with the livery. You know what, he's probably chosen it because it fits with the livery, so I'm not going to mark him down for that. He's got some nice sponsors as well. You know what, I think there's a case for giving it to both of them for sort of joint 3rd place. What do you think, chat? What do you think? Between those two. Should we go joint 3rd? Kevin O'Reilly's livery is lovely. Look at this, heading through turn 1. Oh, it's so nicely made. Great little livery from Kevin O'Reilly. And Josh as well, the joint winner. Look at that gold on the middle of the car. Fantastic stuff. Yeah, that's a lovely livery. I don't think anything actually. Hi Jack, welcome in. Well, it's Reshka who leads the way at the moment anyway in the race side of things. Actually nearly pulled away from Dakar at the previous lap. So Reshka really putting on the pace at the moment at this early stage of the stint. He has already got himself some track limits penalties as well as a rubbish livery. It's good to see him here though. Simply here to see things go fast. Well, you're definitely going to see that, but you're going to see beautiful Christmas liveries going fast. That's the unique thing about this race. But Reshka really putting a shift on at the moment. He's got some very good pace around this circuit. Dakar just not quite able to draw alongside at all down to turn 1. Kevin O'Reilly's up to P3, by the way. Hugo seems to be in a bit of free fall than race pace at the moment. He just cannot keep up with this top 3. Griffin and Josh side by side. Griffin getting ahead. That's Triku going round, unfortunately, in the background. And he's all the way down to 15th place. But great to see him on circuit for the Christmas jump race. I think it's his first Christmas race in APP, so great to see him here. Likewise for Hugo, Griffin, I think Rubialski as well. I think Kevin, Josh, I think as well. Polsky definitely, Runes definitely. So a lot of, and Daka definitely as well. A lot of new faces this year at this year's Christmas race, which is brilliant to see. It's been such a good year for the league. But we've got another yellow flag. I'm not sure. I think maybe that was JB losing the car. I'm going to actually do another assessment on JB's car. See, he's got all the right colours except the gold. I just think if he'd made that gold white, he's sitting on a 9.5 out of 10. I just don't think the gold works as well. As Kevin O'Reilly's had a bit of a moment. He may have won the livery competition, but he's suddenly side by side with the guy he's joint top with in the livery contest. He's down into P7. Is he? Oh, he goes well wide at turn 4, taking the Max Verstappen 2021 line. And he comes out still alongside Josh, and Josh is probably not going to be particularly happy about that. But Kevin maintains P6 for now, but to what legitimacy, I'm not entirely sure. But you know, it's the Christmas race. We're not going to steward it as seriously, but we do expect clean racing at the end of the day. Yeah, a bit of a controversial one there, possibly from Kevin. But Reshka's still leading the way ahead of Daka. The top 5 still in the same order. And Jackalacco, by the way, up in P4. He's having a great race, is Jacko. Lawrence hates Josh's livery, and I absolutely love it. Well, it's a shame that Lawrence isn't the judge, and I am. But yeah, I think these two are the winners today. It's all about that 3rd place, and I think it's, you know, I think Reshka and Polsky have gone for such unique routes for a Christmas livery, and they've both executed it well. I think it goes to both of them. I think, yeah, I'm going to give it to both of them. Reshka and Polsky, joint 3rd place. So those are our, well, top 3. It's technically a top 4, but top 3. Pick a winner. You want me to pick a winner out of those two? That's for 3rd place. They're joint 3rd place. So they both get the role. I can't choose between them. But oh, who's that going off? That's Rubialski with his 2nd off of the day. And he's going to lose a few more positions as a result. Nearly got sandwiched there as they headed up towards turn 1. But just about survives at a bit of danger. Runes, unfortunately, gets himself 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. As everyone heads through turns 1, 2 and 3. Got Griffin right behind Polsky, looking for the move. Daka and Reshka side by side as well. We've got to cut to the front. Daka looking to take the race lead back away from Reshka, and does so. Reshka with a poor line through turn 6. And Daka retaking the lead. Oh, the Christmas jumper race. Reshka's tyres starting to go a little bit. He seemed to have a lot of pace a few laps ago, but that seems to have evaporated. And Daka now taking command once again of this race he started at the front of. Hugo is back in range as well. He looked to be struggling a few laps ago, but he's pulled it back. He's gotten his pace back on terms with the top runners, and he is still well and truly in the fight for this race win. As are Jackalacco and Enchilado at the moment. Kevin O'Reilly a little way back, but he can maybe still catch up at this point. As we cut to the front, I was drinking, so I couldn't get a hand on my controller, but Reshka and Daka side by side through the center S's. Daka on the inside of turn 3. That's going to be the position for him. Does Reshka get DRS? No, he doesn't, and he's going to be now vulnerable to Hugo on the run to turn 4. And Hugo does indeed take P2. So Reshka, a bit of a blunder there in trying to overtake Daka. He has lost the place to Hugo. He's back down to 3rd place in this race. Jackalacco still right behind them. He is doing fantastically well for pace in this race, is Jacko. Great stuff. Enchilada there or thereabouts as well. I think doesn't quite have the pace of the top 4, but he's just about staying with them. So he's doing a great job, and Kevin O'Reilly slowly reeling them in. Such a nice livery on Kevin. So good. Yeah, I think if I've got to pick a winner, it's got to be Kevin O'Reilly. So I think it's all about the top 3 really. But if I've got to pick a winner, I think it's got to be Kevin O'Reilly personally. I think he and Josh has executed his idea so well, but I think Kevin's is more Christmas. So that's where we're going. But I think it's great efforts from everyone on the grid that's put together a livery, except here. It's a great effort, and there's some really nice looking Christmassy liveries out there, so great to see. Tier at the moment on the verge of being lapped already. It's only lap 10, Tier. Last in the livery competition and last in the race as well. It's not a good Christmas or jumper race for Tier, but it's good to see him on track. He's in danger actually of giving Daka DRS. Hasn't quite done, but very close. And Hugo is only just in range as well. So Daka at the moment on course. But we're still only a third of the way through this race. Plenty can still happen. As Ench and Kevin both dive into the pits, and Ench, oh no! 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane for the Tier 2 champion. And that's going to put paid to his chances of winning this race. Tier's on Inters, is he? Yes, so it is. I mean, it's Christmas colour, I suppose. It's a nice Christmas green, isn't it? Oh, Tier. Never change, mate. And Daka now starting to run away with this. He's saved his tyres very well in this first stint, and he's starting to get well away from Hugo, who will probably be a little frustrated to have to drive through the ghost of Tier, but he's still only just in DRS range. It's going to be very close. 9/10 again as he heads to the last corner. He's not been very good at this corner all race long really, Hugo, and once again loses the rear and loses DRS as a result. 1.05 seconds is not close enough, and Reshka is going to be closing him down. The ghost of Tier passed, exactly MSS. Hugo under pressure, but Reshka not quite close enough to make a move. Griffin trying to make a move on Koru though for P7, and does so with the DRS. And another 10-second penalty for the pit lane. A lot of those today. That's 3 already, as Reshka now does make the move on Hugo into P2, and maybe he will have better pace to go chasing after Daka in the lead of this race. Let's put tyres on the screen now as the stops are starting to come in. So most still on the mediums they started the race with. Tier, of course, on the inters. And then you've got 3 drivers on hard tyres. Rubialski has gone for another set of mediums. I don't know if he pitted again from earlier, but either way. Reshka is catching back up to Daka, and Hugo is losing time. So once again, struggling for pace is Hugo in this race. He was struggling earlier on, and once again, he is not having a good time. Daka's got slightly more ERS than Reshka, so that's going to serve him well. as Hugo dives into the pits. That's not a surprise given how much he has been struggling. I think everyone else though is going to hang it out for this one-stop strategy as Kevin O'Reilly putting the pressure on Jack Alacco for what is now a podium spot in this race. Hugo says it's first time without line here for him. That explains the sort of inconsistent pace. Fair enough, mate. I mean, it's a good time to try it, isn't it? It's a good opportunity to practice in the Christmas jumper race. Kevin does get his way past Jacko into P3 as Tia comes out now on full wets. Tia, he's going to be sliding around. Oh dear. Well, Dakar now is once again extending a gap to Reshka. It's been a poor lap for the British driver, and unfortunately being just about out of DRS range on the previous lap looks like it has cost him quite a bit. Another 2/10 lost there as he loses the rear at turn 11, and Dakar now 1.7 seconds ahead, and starting to cruise now in the lead of this race. Top two staying out once again, as is Kevin and Jack Alacco, who's still on for a podium here perhaps, but I think he just doesn't have the raw pace of these top three, and that might well come back to bite him later on as Polsky ran the outside of Koru into turn one. That's a great move from Polsky. He is up to P7, and Koru going to have to settle for 8th. It's a good opportunity this to see drivers we don't usually see racing each other in APP because they're in different divisions, giving each other a race and seeing their pace relative to each other. It's a good opportunity. If this was ranked, it would be really interesting for the ELO rankings, but it isn't. But Koru gets back past Polsky into turn 4. Meanwhile, he is up to P7 in this race as Reshka continues to fall further and further behind Dakar. Kevin O'Reilly now is within range just about. Reshka loses the rear again out of turn 11. He's trying to get enough pace to get rid of the Irishman Kevin O'Reilly, but the red and green car is now well within range, looking to overtake. Reshka dives into the pits as a response to his very poor lap, and Kevin O'Reilly is now up to P2, and nice helping a DRS down to turn 1 just to help him out as well. 2.8 though to Dakar, who is now dominating this race at this stage, and of course still a long way to go. Josh 2.3 behind. He's 1.6 ahead of Griffin. He's in a bit of no man's land, something he's used to. He seems to find himself in this position a lot in Tier 1 this season, and has once again done so in the Christmas race, but we'll see if that changes later on. Reshka comes out the pit lane. Is he ahead of Hugo? He is indeed. 1.8 seconds ahead of Hugo, in fact. So that 2-lap undercut not giving Hugo any favours at all. And Reshka in a bit of clean air here, but he will catch up to Kevin before long, and that could cause him a problem. Polsky and Koru once again looking to go side by side, and Polsky went for the move on the inside, but backed just out of it in time at turn 9. And a great little duel between these two as our race leader dives into the pit lane. Kevin follows him in. Jack Alacco stays out and will lead a lap for the 2025 Christmas jumper race. The season 11 Tier 2 champion. Flexing his muscles here at the front of the pack by staying out another lap. Josh stays out as well, as do Koru and Polsky, continuing their duel. But everyone else has now pitted at least once. Kevin getting himself a track limits penalty, and Hugo getting one shortly afterwards as well. Hugo and Kevin O'Reilly are going to be close on the exit of the pit lane. Someone's yellow flag, that is Rubialski at turn 1. But Kevin O'Reilly just about behind Yuhome Hug, and he's wide at turn 4 as well, taking the admin line once again is the Irishman, but that's going to cost him some time this time. And well, Hugo, he does have the penalty to contend with, but he's still got some decent pace. He's just not quite got the pace of Reshka, who is now within a second of Dakar. What an undercut this has been for Reshka, and he is putting all the pressure on the net race leader here. as we assume Ench and Kevin are not going to go to the end of this race, but that undercut has served them very well indeed. They're ahead of the former race leader. Josh gets himself a pit lane speeding penalty as well. Scraps on the set of hards to the end, but 10-second penalty is not going to do him any favours. Koru in as well, so Polsky now the only one not to pit yet in this race, and as a result he leads the Christmas jumper race on lap 17 in 2025. Good stuff. This isn't a randomized livery as well, right? On Polsky. Because I'm not entirely sure looking at it. I think the fact that the AVAX logo on the rear wing is black instead of white makes me think that it's not a randomized livery. And the Xenon ones as well. Surely for a randomized livery they would be the right colour, I feel. I mean, take it as a compliment, Polsky, because your sponsor placement is great if it's not a randomized livery. It's kind of what's got him joint third place, because otherwise I think he would have lost to Reshka. But he comes into the pits finally, and everyone has now done a stop in this race. Enchilada now leads the way ahead of Kevin, as Kevin O'Reilly sets the pace on circuit. But Daka now catching up to the top two is right there, and Reshka is joining him as well in this pursuit. These two look like the ones to beat in this race. Kevin O'Reilly right behind Hugo, sets the fastest lap the previous lap, and now gets past Yuhome Hag, who dives to the inside of turn 4. Oh, and there's contact. That was a very bold move from Yuhome Hag, but Kevin O'Reilly stays ahead despite the contact. That could have gone an awful lot worse. Very, very lucky to get away with that, both of them. That's big lock of the rear from Hugo, heading into turn at number 7. He'll survive that one. Daka and Reshka now have caught up to the top two. So it's all about how quickly they can get through. If Daka can clear these two cars quickly, then it could allow him to put some space between himself and Reshka. The British drivers, the British driver in Reshka is putting all the pressure on. And Daka representing Scotland, of course, at the front of this race at the moment. Hugo with a time penalty for speeding the pit lane. That's another one, and retires from the session, making our first retirement of the Christmas jumper race 2025. That was a shame. But Daka unable to make any progress, and that's going to be good news for Reshka. Hugo says he can't play. What do you mean? Like, you're struggling with no line? Oh, here comes Daka. Look at this pace through turn 6, but he just can't quite find the opportunity to make a move. And this is great news for Kevin O'Reilly as well. These two getting stuck, because it could allow him to get closer. Look at that gap get scythed down. Fantastic stuff. But, oh, okay. Fair enough, Hugo. You were doing fine in terms of pace. Like, for your first race around here with no line, I assume with no practice, you were doing perfectly fine. But yeah, that's fair. I'll give you that. Here comes Daka, though. He needs to make this move. It could be a crucial move, but he can't quite do it. Kevin is fighting him all the way, and Kevin stays ahead. Daka losing more time. This is going to be great for Kevin O'Reilly. 2.3 seconds behind now as Rubialski spins again at the last corner. But Daka now looking for another opportunity. He's just not close enough. Kevin still has the DRS from Ench, and there's nothing Daka or Reshka can do here. Josh makes his way past Jacko, meanwhile, for P6. And of course, he's got that 10-second penalty to contend with. But Kevin O'Reilly now within 2 seconds of the top 4. And Rubialski makes it our second retirement of the day, sadly. I'm glad he raced, though. I'm glad he didn't just bin it into the wall, because he didn't have a Christmas livery like he threatened to do. But Reshka right behind Daka and Kevin O'Reilly. 1.3 behind them now. This is all working out for the Irishman. Daka and Reshka have been held up something rotten by these top two. Ench and Kevin, who got a wicked undercut of about 4 or 5 laps on these two. And Daka now under pressure from Reshka, who's got a lot more ERS in the tank. Reshka looks to the inside. Daka defends very well, but it's all going to mean they lose more time between these behind these top two, and it's going to bring Kevin O'Reilly into the fight for the win here at the Christmas jumper race. Reshka again going for a move on Daka, but again isn't quite close enough. And that's Tia spearing off in the background, I think, with his wet tyres. Jackalacco getting a move back done on Josh for P6 as Griffin and Runes go to battle as well. Great stuff between these two. Yeah, again, this is awesome. This way, you know, I don't just love the Christmas jumper race for the liveries. I love it for, you know, being able to see these drivers who don't usually race each other have a good race with each other, just in different areas of the league. They just never meet. But it's great to see, you know, Griffin and Runes fighting, like tier 1 midfield driver Griffin and Runes sort of tier 3 title contender, probably tier 2 title contender next season, fighting each other on track. It's brilliant. I love it. Kevin, though, again, he's not close enough to Ench, I don't think, to make a move. I don't think he really wants to make a move. I think he's perfectly happy sitting behind the Irishman here and just biding his time to keep Daka behind. I think they both have, they both have 3 seconds of track limits, but Ench also has the pit lane speeding penalty. As Kevin, though, this time he does go for the inside line, and Enchilada gets a bit of a tap on the outside, but he stays ahead of Daka. Does he? Daka up the hill, spots his opportunity around the outside and gets the move done. It's a beautifully executed move from Daka, and it's an incredibly important move as well, as now he should be able to clear Kevin without much issue. And well, I was talking about Kevin being smart and biding his time behind Ench, knowing that it was keeping Daka behind, but that time he didn't keep it together and didn't make the overtake cleanly. Reshka trying to go for a move on Ench. He knows it's important to get through now as well. He's got to go round the outside of the final corner. Surely that's not going to work. No, he bashes the rear of the car, and that brings Kevin O'Reilly through. What a move from Kevin to get his way into P3. Does he have DRS as well? No, he doesn't. That is a big shame. It's going to allow Reshka to get back past, but what a brilliant move from Kevin O'Reilly it was, until it just about didn't work anymore. Daka now back in the lead, and he will be breathing a heavy sigh of relief to see Reshka this far behind, because unless Kevin goes back at it, which he will, Kevin around the outside of Daka, the Scottish driver battling with the Dutch driver through turn 4, but Daka stays ahead crucially, and Josh once again swapping with Jacko for P6 further back, but Reshka, I think that might be it for Reshka and Kevin's chances of winning this race. Daka successfully made the move. It was a brilliant, opportunistic move from Daka to get his way past Enchilada, and it was so crucial at that point of the track. It just allowed him to build a gap, and Kevin losing the rear through turn 9 just about keeps hold of it, or turn 10 rather. But I think he and Reshka will be disappointed with how that has transpired. They're going to catch up to Kevin pretty quickly, I believe, unless Kevin can stay in DRS. He is doing so at the moment. He's got some decent pace, but I don't think it's quite enough to stay with Daka for any more than a couple of laps. The first few corners. His tyre's also 5 laps older, remember, as well. Jacko getting ahead of Josh for P6, and Koru and Runes fighting it out as well. Koru up to 9th position with his randomised Christmas livery. It looks really nice, but I can't give him an award if it's just a randomised livery. I just can't. And Kevin, yeah, here we go. Dutch Kevin, I should say. 1.1 behind Daka now. Not able to stay with the race leader, and what a shame. What a shame for these two. It's still not over though, because remember the massive undercut, the massive gap that Reshka got from his 1 lap undercut on the previous stint, where he was well over 2 seconds behind Daka, and by the time Daka came out the pits 1 lap later, suddenly Reshka was right behind him. So it's not quite over yet But that is a huge sigh of relief for sure for Daka. And all this battling, by the way, has brought Ench back into this DRS train as well. He does still have that 10-second penalty to contend with, which is a real shame for the Tier 3 champion. But Kevin O'Reilly right behind Reshka, looking for a move to the inside. Backs out just in time. And Reshka now with DRS to Kevin on the next straight. Should be able to keep Irish Kevin at bay. I'm gonna have to refer to them as Dutch Kevin and Irish Kevin. As Polski, Runes, and I think that was Triku. It was Tier as well being lapped in the background, but Polski and Runes side by side further back towards turn 4. We'll have a look at your DM in a second, Hugo. And that was some good racing between those two. And Triku Vidayak trying to find his way through as well. It's not been the best race for the Czech driver. Oh, well, it's just showing me, you're showing me the randomised livery. Fair enough. Yeah, no, I can't give Cora an award for just picking a randomised livery. I can't, even if it's really good. I can't give him the top 3 award for that. No, I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have known. So. Triku now getting ahead of Runes. Runes on the inside of turn 1, loses the rear though. And that's the lapped car of Tier getting his way back through. Josh and Jacko once again swapping places. This time a little less trivially though. Jackalacko still battling on the exit of turn 4, but Josh does find his way through. These two having a great tussle. It's bringing Kevin back into the fight as well. I think Cora is a little too far back as it stands. JB gets himself a track limits penalty at the back there. As Kevin now holding up Reshka. 3.5 seconds is the gap to Daka. And Reshka knows he needs to get this move done, but Kevin just too good out that final corner. This is what Daka was having so much trouble with. He just couldn't get past the Dutchman. But here comes Reshka. He's not quite close enough. Jacko and Josh swapping again with DRS. Lovely fight between these two. And yeah, Kevin O'Reilly's livery is fantastic. Fully agreed, Hugo. Definitely the winner for me. Reshka though on the inside, looking to make the crucial move on Dutch Kevin, and he does make his way through. 3.5 seconds is the gap to Daka. Surely we'll see him try and undercut at some point in the next few laps. Kevin O'Reilly now gets a 3-second time penalty as well, so that's going to certainly not help his case in terms of trying to win this race. I think he's probably still on for a podium, but the race win is firmly in Daka's hands at the moment. Kevin, the two Kevins battling it out. Kevin O'Reilly to the inside. Dutch Kevin just understeers out with the old tyres. And Kevin O'Reilly taking that opportunity. And he is up to 3rd place. But 1.2 seconds behind Reshka. Not in DRS. And he could be vulnerable here to a counter-attack from his namesake. In the tank to defend, and gets back within range of Reshka as well. You can indeed see Josh's livery. There you go. It's the gold. It's the fact that I was complaining about gold on green all qualifying long, because so many people have chosen a sort of not a great shade of gold. Like, it doesn't look good. It looks sort of either dull or kind of pukey in some cases. But that is a proper gold on that livery. I love the star on it. That's very Christmassy. The fact that, but it's the fact as well that he's managed to put gold on green and have it work. I think it's really nicely done. I think that's a beautiful Christmas livery. And like I said in qualifying, as Koru spins it further back, if he'd put dark red instead of green, that is a 10 out of 10, without a doubt. I think he just chose the wrong Christmas colour. If he'd chosen red, that is a 10. But because he's chosen green, it comes back down to a 9. But still 2nd place for me, I think. Only losing out to Kevin O'Reilly, who is on the move again. Look at this, right behind Reshka as they head through turn 1. A little bit of lag between them, but no harm done. I think it's Kevin who's the one who's lagging. The other Kevin's still staying with him. To his credit, he's doing a great job. He's only got 3 seconds of penalties as well. Kevin O'Reilly, though, to the inside of turn 4, looking for P2 in this race. Oh, it's very close. They just about bang wheels, but Reshka stays ahead. Brilliant battling between those two. And yeah, Hugo, that's exactly the same as my top 3. Funnily enough. I don't know if you knew that, but that is exactly the same. Koru, though, on the inside of Runes. These two battling again as well for P11 in this race. But, Kevin O'Reilly piling the pressure on Reshka. Daka is streaking away now in this race. Nearly 6 seconds to the good. What a crucial overtake that was on Enchilada Dad at just the right choice, just the right point on the circuit to maintain the position and get his way past Kevin at the next straight. And it looks like that move is what is going to win him this race. Ench, though, has gone wide at turn 1. Not sure if there was contact or if he locked up, something along those lines, but he gets back on circuit, but he's now down a distant P8, unfortunately for him. Looks like all of these guys are going to the end of this race. Kevin's still in contention for a podium here. You know what? Josh and Jacko are catching them up as well, as is Griffin. You know what? If these guys all catch each other up, Griffin could be on for P3, because he's the only one of the 4 cars ahead of him without a penalty. So if he, Jacko and Josh can catch up to the drivers ahead, then it could be a podium on the cards for Griffin in the Christmas jumper race. It would be as, I mean, it's obviously not an official race, it wouldn't count towards his stats, but I mean, unofficially it would be his first podium in the league. So that would be great stuff. But Kevin O'Reilly looking to make the move finally on Reshka, and that could put paid to Griffin's chances if Kevin O'Reilly makes this move. I do think he's quicker than Reshka. It's 3 wide. The two Kevins both on the inside of Reshka, as Kevin backs out of it, and Reshka on the inside for turn 2, but it's going to be the better line for Kevin O'Reilly through turn 3. There's contact between Reshka and Dutch Kevin through 3. I don't know how they both didn't end up in the wall, but somehow they both get through unscathed, and Kevin O'Reilly is up into P2. Griffin now getting his way past Jacko for P6, and he'll be heading after Josh now for P5 as well in this race. It could be even better for him. It could still be a podium, but he's going to need Reshka to get back ahead of Kevin, I think, because Kevin O'Reilly doesn't look like he has as, Reshka doesn't look like he has as much pace as the Irishman. And if Kevin is allowed to get out of that DRS range, I think that's going to be game over for the likes of Griffin. Griffin's chances of a podium. Ench gets himself another 10-second penalty as Runes comes in for softs to try and get the fastest lap honours. I'm just going to have a look at Hugo's other livery that he sent me. Still keeping an eye on the race. Reshka not quite close enough to Kevin O'Reilly to think about a move. The closing speed is pretty significant, but yeah, not quite there. Griffin 1.9 behind. We've got to keep an eye on him. He's still in contention for a podium here. 5 laps to go in the 2025 APPF1 Christmas jumper race. Reshka still just behind Kevin O'Reilly, but unable to make any sort of move. He's going to have to try and conserve ERS, but also stay within a good range of the Irishman if he wants to retake that position. Josh now well and truly in the fight as well, but he does have 10 seconds of penalties. That's a real shame. If he hadn't have gotten that pit lane speeding penalty, he could be the one in contention for a podium here, but as it is, it's going to be, I think, either Kevin O'Reilly or Griffin who get that 3rd spot on the podium. 4.5 laps to go. Daka looking like he's going to cruise to a race win in his first ever Christmas jumper race, as Ench comes in the pits as well to try and get fastest lap. But for P2, it's very, very close, or for P3 rather. Reshka surely on for P2, but P3 is another matter. Griffin, what's he doing? Is he heading in the pits? Surely not. No, he did a bit of a weave, I think, to tell Jacko to go back through. I'm not sure why. That's cost him more time in his fight for 3rd place in this race. It's well and truly on. I don't know if he knows that he's got a chance at 3rd place. That's the thing. I think if he knew that Kevin had a penalty, Kevin O'Reilly had a penalty. He might well not have let that go, but he gets back past Jacko into turn 4, but 2.3 seconds. He's just too far away from Kevin O'Reilly to get that last spot on the podium. It's going to be so close, I think, but he's going to need to find some pace, and he needs these 4 cars to slow down a little bit more to bring him a little bit closer. Hugo sent me a second livery. Oh, you should have taken that one, mate. You should have taken that one. That one is better. I do still think your gold is a bit too brown. That's the thing. Like, no, I think it's a mistake. Like almost everyone has made on the grid. Like it's so you know, it's not like it's a you problem. It's hard. It's really hard to get a nice shade of gold in the game, which is why the fact that Josh has done it so perfectly is really impressive. But yeah, I think your gold is just a bit too brown, really. I think that's the issue a lot of people have. And Griffin's is a bit too yellow and not shiny enough, you know. Outside this time of turn 4. He needs to make this move. Jacko stays there but backs out just in time. It's a great attack from Griffin. It's a great counter-attack from Jackalacko up the hill. There's a bit of contact and Jacko gets his way back through, and Griffin sees his podium chances slipping away, I think, at this stage. Just 3 laps to go. And he's just not really close enough. He might get P4, but he's going to need a lot more to get himself on that podium. I think Kevin O'Reilly might have this covered after all. Ench sets the fastest lap further back. Tier pits to try and get it as well. There's a sort of separate battle for fastest lap going on at the back of the grid. But just 2 laps to go at the end of this one of 2025 for APPF1. Dakar is again cruising to a race win, but Kevin O'Reilly looking for P3. Rashka's got P2 on lock, I think, thanks to all the penalties around him. But Griffin, he's just a bit too far behind. He just doesn't quite have the pace that he needs in these last few laps to snatch a podium away, because he was well and truly within a shot. He might still be. We might still get some drama at the end. You never know. Reshka could get back past Kevin O'Reilly. They could all hold each other up and bring Jacko and Griffin closer. But as it stands, I think Griffin is just a little bit too far away in terms of pace, which is a real shame. He was so close to it. As we've got yellow flags further back. I think that's Runes or Tier. No, it's Tier losing the rear. Koru now sets the fastest lap with his fresh soft tyres. That battle's going to rage on all the way to the end as well. But Dakar takes us on to the last lap of 2025 for APPF1. Kevin O'Reilly looking to try and get this podium. I think he is just about going to get it. I don't think Jacko and Griffin are close enough to bring Griffin into the fight anymore. Reshka surely on for P2, but what can still happen in this final lap of the race? Reshka has got the DRS down to turn 4, but I don't think he's going to go for any sort of move. He's a bit too far behind for that anyway. He does need to save a bit of ERS to make sure he doesn't lose out on the final straight towards the checkered flag, but I think he will be just about fine for this second place. Kevin O'Reilly is just leading the train. He's doing what he needs to do to take 3rd place. Josh looking for P4 on the road. He looks to the inside of turn number 6, or turn number 7 rather. He can't quite get it to work. Oh, he loses the rear as well on the exit of 7. Oh my goodness me, that was close. Koru gets himself another track limits penalty. Dakar, though, he is going to take the checkered flag for the final time in 2025 for APPF1. A great race, a fantastic overtake on Enchilada. Dakar wins the Christmas Jumper Race 2025. Kevin O'Reilly's going to come across the line for P3. Reshka gets 2nd place in the race. Great stuff from him. Dutch Kevin gets P4. Griffin does just about jump Jacko and Josh for P5, but is agonisingly just 2 seconds away from a podium place. That's a real shame for him, but it's still a great race from Griffin. Kevin as well, very good from him. Josh, that 10-second penalty costing him big time. He should have had a podium there. Jackalacko, P7. Tricky Badayak, 1/10 away from Jacko in the end. He made a comeback, as did Polsky. They were both very close to P7. JB comes home a distant 10th, and then the fastest lap battlers, Koru, I think, was the one who got it in the end. Yes, he was, a 9.714 ahead of Enchiladad in P12, and then it's going to be Runes and Tia, who's about 4 laps down after taking every single tyre. Is going to come home for 14th place. He's done a bit of lawn mowing as well, why not? Give us some donuts, Tia. You're going to be the last car across the line. No, he's he's pinned it in the wall instead. Oh dear. Oh, that was a golden opportunity for Tia to get some donuts in on stream, but he just yeeted himself in the wall instead. Oh dear. Great stuff. But it is a race win for Dakar for the 2025 Christmas Jumper Race. Game has given Kevin, Dutch Kevin, driver of the day. I think it's difficult to disagree with that, but I'm thinking it could also be Reshka or Griffin, you know. Yeah, I think Kevin or Griffin, driver of the day. I'm going to give it to Kevin just because he finished a place ahead of Griffin. That's it. No particularly complicated reasons for that. I think they both deserve it, but Kevin finished ahead, so it's going to go to Kevin for me. But Dakar wins, followed by Reshka and Kevin O'Reilly, the top 3 of the last race of the year. Kevin, the Dutch Kevin, comes P4 with Griffin, a very respectable P5 indeed. Josh takes home 6th place with Jackalacko, Triku, Polsky and JB, the top 10. Then it's Koru with the fastest lap. 4 drivers battled for the fastest lap at the end, but Koru was the one who got it, just about ahead of Enchilada, Runes and Tier, with Rubialski and Hugo unfortunately unable to finish. Tier says 0-0 wings didn't work. I'm not surprised, mate. Who wins livery? Well, what matters is the top 3, Kevin, because all of the top 3 get a roll. But I think, for me, you are the winner. I think Josh threw away a 10 out of 10 by putting green instead of red. If he'd put a lovely Christmassy red instead of the Christmassy green, that would have completed the livery perfectly, and that's a guaranteed 10 out of 10 for me. But I think it's got to be you, mate. So podium and best livery of the day. So well done, Kevin. But anyways, that was fantastic fun. I'm really glad we do this. I think I don't really know of any other league that does this. And well, they're all missing a trick. It's brilliant. It's a great way to bring the whole league back together. For one last race to close out the year. The livery competition is always really good fun. And great to see everyone's creativity at work. And an absolute pleasure to commentate on. And it was a great race as well. It was a really good race. But I mean, it's a brilliant way to cap off the year. And like I was saying, I think one of my favourite things about the Christmas Jumper Race every year is that we get drivers from all across the league that never usually meet each other on track, like Griffin and Runes battling each other, and who else was it? I think Reshka and some tier 1 and tier 2 drivers. You never get to see them race because they're sort of confined to their different divisions. And this race brings everyone together, and you see battles between drivers that have always been in the same league, in the same Discord, but have never actually met each other on track. And this is a great opportunity for that to happen. So I think that's one of my favourite things about it. Who was third? It was jointly Reshka and Polski. So I'm going to give the role to 4 people this year. But yeah, a huge amount of fun. Thank you so much to everyone who joined. I know it's not a competitive race. I know it technically, it doesn't mean it's not for points. Doesn't appear on your stats or anything, but it's a lovely way to end out the year, and it's a great representation of who we are as a league. So thank you everyone so much for racing today that did. And everyone in the chat as well, and to everyone who couldn't make it. I know Sumo, Lawrence, and I'm sure many others would have, and Rob Sue and others would have loved to have made it, but they just couldn't due to other reasons. I know Sumo loves the livery, and it's a shame that he wasn't here as well. But yeah, it's a great race. It's a great occasion for APPF1, and sort of sums up what the league is about. So yeah. Thank you very much everyone. I promise I will get this VOD downloaded and upload to YouTube. I know I haven't been doing that very much for tier 2 races, and it's my bad. I just don't get round to it, and then I forget. But I will definitely get this one. We can't have a Christmas jumper race not documented. Every single one has been. So, yeah, great fun. Thank you all so much for another great year of the league as well. And here's to 2026. So, without further ado, thank you all for racing. Thank you all for watching. And thank you to all our drivers and staff of APPF1 for making 2025 another great year. So, Merry Christmas if you celebrate, Happy Holidays if you don't, and have a wonderful holiday period, no matter where you are in the world. So, thank you all, and we'll see you all in 2026 for Season 19. Goodbye.